I need to start getting some music going in here. Hello and good morning. Welcome back to Makeover Monday Live, Phase of Data Edition. We are back with the Makeover Monday dataset for 2026 week 32. This week we're looking at the average air temperatures in the UK from 1884 all the way up to 2025. So it should be a fun time. We've got a quite large image here looking at that average annual air temperature. Good old temporal data, so there's only kind of so many things we can do with it, but I am kind of excited to dive into this one and see what we can pull together today. So I'll go ahead and download this data set down at the bottom and go ahead and boot up Tableau. Of course, Tableau opens on the wrong screen. To be expected. We can go ahead and hit more here and connect to our CSV. And how is this looking? Let's make this just a little bit smaller for the stream. That's not what I wanted. Let's try something like this. Nice. All right. So what do we have here? We have not actually a date field in this case. It looks like we've got our year and our month split out. But we actually have, okay, so it looks like we've got different types of values here. So like there's like a monthly view, there's like a seasonal view, and then I think annual data. And for each of these value types, we have a period that reflects kind of a different granularity. So let's take a look at that in the table here. Let's drag out value type, and we see annual, monthly, and seasonal. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit bigger by going to my worksheets. We'll make this like size 12 might be a little obnoxiously large. We'll try like a size 11. So we've got our value types here, and if we grab our period, we should see exactly what we were talking about, where monthly gives us the 12 months, seasonal gives us 4 seasons, and annual gives us 1 point per year. I'm going to switch year to be discrete, and we can double check that by adding a year, and we see exactly that. For 1884, we have all 16 of those rows, and then 16. Oh, only 3 seasons for 1884 for some reason. Here we have 17 marks, though, for 85. So, awesome. I think what comes to mind immediately for me is maybe making a parameter and tying it to value type so we can dynamically filter between these different grains. So let's do that. Let's create a parameter. I'm going to call this p value type. Make this a list, change it to a string, and we can add values from value type. Let's go ahead and show that parameter over on the side. And next up, let's make a calculated field to use that parameter as a filter. So I'll just call this filter value type. And we can make a case statement. Say when annual, then we want to apply the logic that says value type equals annual. When monthly, then value type equals monthly. And when seasonal, then value type equals seasonal end. And now what this should do, if we drag this on and set it to true, is allow us to switch our view between annual, monthly, and seasonal just with a single click. So that should be useful, I think. The other thing that comes to my mind is if we flip back to that data source, we don't have a date field here. And it's going to get a little bit squirrely when it comes to the seasonal values. So I'm going to ignore those for the time being. But for something like annual, we don't have to really worry. We could just look at the year, and everything else we could assume is like, for our line chart, it could just be the first of the year. But for these month years, I think we're actually going to need to parse out the date there. So let's try to create a calculation that does exactly that. I'm going to flip this to monthly, and I'm just going to call this like monthly dates. I think we want date parse, if I recall correctly. Yes, so date parse will let us turn a string into a date based on our format that we give it. So what we can do is we can specify a format, and then we can give it some sort of string combination. So we have a year, we have a month, we don't have a day. So I think Tableau will just infer that it's the first of the month, which is totally fine. But we could take our year, then we could also add our period here. Um, yeah, it's fine. We'll just make this a hard-coded thing for monthly for now. And then we can actually call out that we have the year with 4 numbers, and the period is um, a month with the full day, which I just grabbed the 4 capital M's here from the example. I would have had to look this up otherwise, but I think this should give us what we're looking for. And I think we wrap this whole thing in a date as well, so that we don't get a date time. Nice, and that worked, I think. So now if we drag this on just to validate it really quick, we see January 1st, February 1st, March 1st. If we go way down here for the year 2000, we see January, February, March, April, May. Cool. So that seems to be working. That gives me confidence that if we were to go to a new sheet and drag monthly dates onto columns and make that continuous, and then we take our mean temperature, put that here. Perfect. We see a trend. It's very messy because we're looking at the monthly grain, but it does give me an idea. What would happen? I know we just made this filter and this parameter, but I'm going to ignore them for a moment. What would happen if we put year onto columns and made this continuous? And then we grabbed our mean temperature and made a line chart. And then we actually dual accessed this. Let's synchronize these. And on the second one, what if we did circles and we added our value type to detail? And then we go to our filter and add this to true. Well, hold on a second. I want just my months here, but I want the line for the others, which we can do if we just switch our parameter to monthly, I believe, which it's on. But these dots are resolving value type monthly. Oh, I didn't grab period is what I want, not value type. And then this needs to be an average instead of a sum. And I'll just make these averages to be consistent. Okay, now if we make these circles way smaller, maybe lower the opacity a bit. So what we can see here is the average temperature by year and the months that are affecting it. And now what I'm thinking is, what if we move period to color here? This is kind of a mess, and this might not be the direction we want to go. But in theory, we could do something where we select a specific month, like these summer months. These colors are terrible, by the way. I can't see anything. September, October. Change this to like a line. I mean, this is horrendous. Okay. Just a thought. We're thinking here. Once again, a friendly reminder that I do not do this ahead of time. I am exploring the data. for the first time. Cool. I don't know. There's a thought here. There might be legs. There might not be. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. And this time I'm going to try and make a heat map. Let's see what that looks like. So I need, just read Matt in the chat, break that out by quarters. Not a bad idea. I'm going to explore a heat map first, I think, though, and just kind of see what that's looking like trend-wise. So we've got year on columns. I'm going to grab we have our filter on, so I just need period to rows. I can change this to be discrete for now, make these squares. And this would be something where I would consider like a dynamic date range too, to maybe hone in on specific sections. But let's go ahead and fit the height here well, we can fit the entire view for a moment. It's quite squished because we've got a lot of years. So let's actually take our year, show a filter here. Let's just go from 2000 to 2026. And this goes through July, which is awesome. Super current. We can take that mean temperature and add it to color. The tricky thing with setting a mean temperature on a view like this is, where do we make the midpoint? What determines a temperature that is switching between cold and hot? And especially in Celsius, what the heck is that temperature? So I'm going to Google it because I'm an American. What is the temperature in Celsius that most people would consider neutral, neither hot nor cold? Give me the midpoint. We'll see if this works. 21 degrees Celsius, people say, which is 69.8. That checks out to me. So let's go ahead and head back to Tableau. Let's specify that our center is 21. These are summing. Automatic. Mean temperature getting to like 17 and it's still super blue. Oh, I see. So what is the coldest point that we have in this data set? It's like -1. So if we go -1 and then we make this, the difference here is 22. So we add 22 to 21 and we get 43. Question mark. Okay, maybe that's not a good people in the UK. 21. Okay. Look back at my line chart. I mean, yeah, we're not getting up to that temperature at all. Interesting. So then what is the midpoint? And we could just look at the data and create it, but I feel like it can become a little bit subjective. You know what? I'm gonna say it's 10 for a moment, and let's just riff for a moment. So this is 10. Our highest value is 21. And our lowest value is -1. Now we start to see something that looks like what I expected to see, where the summer months are hot you can't necessarily tell that if they're getting hotter or not. Maybe if I extend our date range out a little bit. Maybe slightly. Monthly heat map. What if we duplicate this? We switch our value to annual. For this one, again, I need to change my legend. Thanks. Maybe like 4. Fair enough. Doubling back to Matt's suggestion earlier, what if we break the line chart view into quarters? So if we take something like this, or I guess we can do it here. What is going to happen if we put on monthly dates? I guess we can get away with that if we just don't use annual at all. So here, let me duplicate this once more. I'm going to say quarterly marks. Let's do our monthly values here. Let's change our year field. Let's duplicate this. Let's call this year date. Make this continuous. That temp includes the average of highs and lows. Is there more to this data that I am missing? Let me grab. So if we take year, just give me like the year 2000. We take our period, which is set to just month because our value type is just monthly right now. We have our mean temp. We have baselines as well. So the baselines shift. In 1990, we changed our baselines. Interesting. So does this baseline repeat if we were to grab like, I don't know, a different year, 2020? Yeah, the baseline does repeat, which I would expect to be the case. Okay, so what if we did like making a lot of calculations? 01, I guess we'll do 00 data source. Get a coffee. I am tired today. Okay, so what if we make a calc that just does index versus baseline, and And then we'll do if year is greater than or equal to 1991, then else blah. Okay. So if we have a value that is greater than 1991, then we want to apply our new baseline. And what we want to do is we want to take our average mean temp divided by our average baseline of 91 minus 1, which should give us an index around our baseline. Otherwise, we want to do the same exact thing, but use the other baseline. Well, our baselines, else if year is greater than or equal to 1961, then. All right, what's going on in the chat here? Nothing more. The Met averages those temps. So if it gets cold at night, these degrees are going to seem lower than they actually are during the day. Oh, I see. That's a good call out. So basically, for each day, we're getting an average value, taking the highs and the lows for the date or the period that we're looking at, because it is a Met average. Interesting. So this will give me an index versus baseline. Which looks to be doing what I expect it to be doing. So now let's take year. Let's add a filter. Range. We'll just start at 1961. And then let's grab our index versus baseline. We see a different line. And then if we take another dual axis here. Index versus baseline, and then we can take our value type, add that to detail, change these to circles, and then can I not do like if value type equals monthly, then? No. I think I need to take a step back. We're 23 minutes in. I need to think about what I even want the dashboard to look like here. What are we trying to build? I don't even know if I am happy with much of anything right now. I think it might be kind of a slice and dice situation where you can slide the date filter to pick different years. I think that we can get away with showing months and years at the same time, using something like this kind of approach. We need to workshop it a little bit though to make it less busy. And maybe it's just like the average by the decades. Taking something like this and doing decade groupings might be useful. Before I do that, what does this look like if we change this to only 1961 onwards? easier to read. We're trending upwards, and we've got our periods. What we could also do is we could color code these a bit differently. So like, what are our hot months? We've got like a little bit of May, a little bit of October. So if we go, is there like an orange blue that I can grab from here? No. Oops. November, December, January, February, March, April. Incredibly scientific in how I am picking my colors here. Sure, that looks good enough. This might be for nothing. I mean, it kind of worked. Not very scientific, but that is a good idea, Matt. A rolling average to smooth things out is not a bad idea at all. Let's. It is a great example of where we can demo some of that. So let's jump into. Is this actually on quarters right now? I think it is. Versus like a month. Yep. So let's go ahead and do a. Can I not do a quick table calc? I'm on the wrong field. Quick table calc. Let's do a moving average. I don't know where my box popped up. Oh, I don't think it did pop up because I didn't hit edit. Sweet. So moving average, but that's not what we want. Moving calculation. Oh, I see, because of the first mark. There we go. Interesting. What does this look like if we go to year? And then maybe we do like. Just messing around. The further we go, obviously, the more things become smooth. Interesting. So maybe like if we go to monthly, gotta switch this again. And we do like a 12-month moving average, or is that dumb? That might be dumb. It would need to be like a 4-month moving average, which is still junk. Unless we did like quarterly. If we did quarterly and we did like 16, well, we would want 15 previous values because we have one current. It gives us a shape. These first few are a little bit squirrely, but that's okay. And what if we take... We could do this. I don't know. I'm kind of torn in a couple different directions here. What do I want to do? I would only do monthly if you're intending to put emphasis on the seasons, comparing historical seasons with recent seasons. Fair point. Yeah, I was thinking... Yeah, that could be an interesting thought, actually. If we were to take... Let's mess with that. So if we were to take the decades, which we can do by taking the left three values of our year, and then 3 plus, just say zeros. So we get our decades. And then we could take, we want our value type to be monthly. We want our, I mean, I can still take our date field that we made, and I can just grab discrete months. Maybe I can't. Month date. Here, hold that. Let's just grab the period and put that on columns. And then let's grab our mean temp. And then let's grab our decade. That's not what I meant. I wanted this in color. It's interesting that the 2020s dip back down a bit, it looks like. I'm trying to find an interesting and novel take on this is really what I'm caught in between. Oh, I've got some. Thank you so much. Oof. I'm going to switch the default properties on that before it's too late. That's much better. Thank you, Matt. Nice. Okay. And that will matter a lot if I'm summing for decades because it is not the end of the 2020s yet. Okay. So we could take the decades approach. This looks like somebody is making spaghetti and like about to take a bite. Um, this looks like what were we doing here? We had the index versus the baseline, and it's dynamically updating. We could do something like this. Mm-mm-mm. We could do a heat map, but I've done this before. And it doesn't excite me too much, other than it tells us that the summers are hot, which I feel like we know. I do kind of like the direction that this is going. While it might not be a super clear insight, I do kind of like the granularity there of seeing the different month mean temperatures. And these are set to average, thankfully. Um, this might not be bad. And then what if we had, actually, here we go. If we had this, and then we had one that was like seasonal, quarterly, I'll just call this monthly dots, and then seasonal dots. And then we did one of these where instead of fanning out by period, I guess we still fan out by period, but instead of using this, we filter our value type to seasonal. And then we can update our seasons to Gr. What do we have? Autumn is like this. Spring is like, I don't know, maybe pink. Summer's hot. Winter's cold. I feel like my autumn color is a little bit too summer looking. Um, what if we just flip those? Hmm. Let's go ahead and format this really quick. Number custom. These are all whole numbers, right? I do have precision to 2 decimals. Default property is number format, 2 decimals. Degrees Celsius. Fun fact, if you're on a Mac and you want to do the little degree symbol, you just hit Option 0, and it gives you the little degrees. But it's underlined. Is it not Option 0? No, no, no. I just want the symbol. Oh, I guess it's not Option 0. Fair enough. Um, okay. So what I'm thinking is we could just have like DZV built in so that we can toggle between the two here. Um, and that just might be the way we take this today. So I'm going to start building a dashboard. And I used to do 1400 by 850, but Matt, I saw in the chat you had mentioned what the new Tableau thumbnail size was, which is no longer 1400 by 850 because they had changed that a year or two ago. Do you know off the top of your head what I'm sure you do know, but what the dimension is for the thumbnail? Oh, 176 for the degree symbol. It is good for people that are on Windows too, is alt codes there. I miss my alt codes sometimes. 1,000 by 617. Interesting. This will be a new one to work with. Do you build in 1,000 by 617 or do you scale this out? I feel like we can scale this to like what is 617 times 1.5? It doesn't work evenly. But I am not opposed to just doing 925. 15 by 925. You build to that size most of the time. Fair enough. I'm just going to go bigger so that the stream can see what's going on a bit easier. Title. Footer. We'll put a horizontal container in there. We'll grab a sheet and a sheet. Is this? I have a default workbook I've built that includes a dashboard set to that size and a footer with text. Ah, it makes sense. That is smart. Temperatures getting hot. The UK is heating up. Average temperature in the United Kingdom. And then we'll just hard filter this for 1961 to 2026. Something, well, yeah, that'll be fine. Let's make this all, I don't know, we can just do the Tableau fonts today. Oops. Lower this down. UK is heating up. Put some outer padding on this. I usually drink a coffee before these, and I did not do that today, and I am feeling it. Makeover Monday. Data is from Guardian Graphics. Sort is Met Office. Had UK Grid. Nice. Nice. Other Matt getting ready to publish. Love to hear it. You are ahead of me, but given my self-imposed constraints, you are no more than 15 minutes ahead of me. So there's that. I lose my degree circle. No, I still got it. And he's live. Just derail the stream and flip over to public and take a look. Nice. It's a small group here, so I will say I don't love this, but you don't have to love everything that you make. It's important to just do stuff sometimes, just make things. That's exactly what I am doing. Value type monthly. No cheating. Cool. So I can completely get rid of this parameter. I'm not using it at all in the final. So then what I need to do is I need to create actually another parameter. I'll just call this pdzv string, and we'll say seasonal or monthly or none. No, none. You get seasonal or you get monthly, and that's that. DZV is seasonal, and we can do pdzv equals seasonal. We can do one more. Is monthly. Change this to monthly. Go here, add our parameter. Set this to be is monthly. Set this to be is seasonal. So now this toggle should switch us between our charts, which it does. Interesting. Legend, seasonal. Ah, it's annoying. Okie doke. Average temp. Yeah, I'll leave it. But I do want to edit all trend lines. I don't want this to recalculate. I don't want tooltips either. monthly, seasonal. I didn't do this stuff. Where did my horizontal container go? Why can't I click it? Vertical container, this. So if I do maybe like text, I'm just gonna say chart title, whatever. Then I can edit the width of, not the width. I want to edit the height of this to be like 100. And then I need my legends. Legend. Doesn't really matter. Change detail. Oh man, you guys are chatting. The squirrel census viz. Ooh. Yeah, Matt, I guess, shoot, I got two Matts. Matt Meyer, yeah, definitely keep posting on LinkedIn. I saw that the Salesforce customer support team replied to you. So I think you're our last hope for getting that bug fixed. But keep pushing. Oh, nice. I do want to check out that squirrel viz, but I need to finish this quickly. Okay, what am I doing? Let's make this a little bit smaller. Axis rulers. There are so many little things that I want to just derail and fix, but I shouldn't. Like this little plus thing here that shows up for our dates. We could actually make that not appear if we used a custom date, but I, again, just don't feel super excited about doing that right now. Reverse order? Oh, that's terrible. It's fine. It was fine how it was. Sigh. 5-minute warning. Okie doke. This one we can actually probably arrange in a single row. Do I even need a chart title? I think this is probably not needed. I'll just put a blank here. Stupid container bug. You are supposed to be over here, sir. We got another blank here. And make this only appear on is seasonal. Better. All right, this will do. We are there. Let's hide those sheets. Let's kill all the other dead thoughts. Let's clean up the workbook under the hood. Which of these do I not need anymore? I don't think I'm using this at all. Or this. Or this. I do need these. Don't need this. No, I didn't need that. Right? Yeah. These are all good. That I do need. Nice. Good as new. I thought I had show hidden fields on. Where did they go? The baselines. Oh, I see. I just need to unhide them. Sweet. All right. This is where we got this week. It's been an hour, so we'll wrap it up here. MM 2026, week 30 something. Week 32, average UK temperatures. I need to make an extract. No filters. Let's see if this works. Nice. All right, it's looking good enough. Let's take a look at that visit of the day, by the way. Oh, it is. Interesting. It's that squirrel census viz. Very cool that this bubbled back up because I think this was from, yeah, 2020. So awesome to see that this one made its way up to the surface. It's well deserved. Since you guys are here, let's take a look at what Mr. Huff pulled together. Ooh, very pretty. So we've got the two baselines as reference lines, which I like. Interesting. Tooltips could use some work. Just mess with you. Nice. Well, this is really cool. One with the heat map. Very solid stuff. I like how you're using the same x-axis essentially. Or are you? Are these lined up? They are. I like that a lot. These charts are stacked nicely on top of one another. Solid work. And Matt, you've got like 100 of them you made this week. I can't even find them down here. You've made this many more things since, oh my gosh, you're just pumping stuff out. This one was really cool. I was a big fan of this approach. This looks nice. You've got both baselines here. Yeah, this is very cool. Oops. I like Tableau. Yeah, me too. Oh, nice. All right, whatever. The heart's there in spirit. I'd do the same thing for years, Matt Huff, but whatever. You guys get the point. It's 9:02. I am turning this thing off. I will potentially see you all next week. I might shift the time around a little bit. I will be traveling on Friday, so we will see what that looks like. But awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you later.